Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Just One More Level podcast. I am your co host, John,
And I'm Christian.
and we're back, everybody, with a Halloween special and a little bit in a shift of the format. We're doing multiple games this episode, not like we have been in the original Halloween specials that we have done before here at the podcast. We're doing things a little bit differently, and we kind of plan on structuring our episodes this way from here on forward.
And how is that,
Um,
John? How is it structured from here on forward?
well, we're going to break it up into chunks of sorts. We're going to do the classic formula that we've always done, where we both play a game for a little bit and then we talk about it here. And then after that, we're going to highlight little things that we also typically like to talk about on the podcast, but we want to be a little bit more inclusive and talk about a lot of the same things all at once and then kind of divvy it up and release it as their own little chunks throughout the month. So the other things that we're going to be doing are a segment where we just talk about the games that Christian and I are playing right now, whatever it is we happen to be playing right now, even if we've played it before. We just want to talk about what we're up to right now, a game for myself and a game for Christian. And then at the end of that, we're going to highlight an indie game that
Not
Christian and I have
necessarily
been.
recommending, to be clear.
No, no, no,
Just
no,
we
no, no.
tried this indie game. These are our thoughts on it, and
Yes.
if you like the look of it, you can try it.
Yeah. And then throughout, we're just going to banter about whatever pops into our head. And towards the end, we're going to wind down with some chatting about whatever is current in the gaming industry today, be it news or interesting developments or little
Releases,
releases, projects that are being worked on right now, things
how
like that.
Dracula's doing.
How
Um,
Dracula is doing is always an important topic of conversation,
hmm
Christian,
hmm
especially
Yep.
around this time of year. It's Halloween, it's spooky time, and we're getting in to our first game. It's called
Yeah.
Fathom Frights. Fathom
Fears to fathom.
Fears Fears to Fathom.
Yes.
It's called
Episode 1, Home Alone.
Episode 1, Home Alone, which is available for free right now on Steam.
It's like a
That in no
20-minute
way.
game. It's super short. Just
Yes.
gonna get that right
Yes.
out there. But there are a couple different endings to the game.
I've heard of that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose
I got
spoilers.
3
You
endings
played
to the
through all
game.
3 endings. Okay.
Yeah, is there only 3? I didn't mean
Um.
to play through all 3. It's just so happened that I got 2 bad endings and then the good ending.
Oh.
So
Okay. I
I
gotcha.
didn't record the good ending though. So if anybody wants
Oh.
to try to do it for themselves, you're not going
I
to see
think.
exactly how to do that.
I think I got the good
Although,
ending. I
yeah.
survived.
Yes, yeah, that's the good ending. Surviving.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, I did no research on the game or anything like that. I just played
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Died.
On my
Spoiler alert, I
recommendation,
guess.
blind.
Yes, yeah, blind recommendation. It was a spoopy game that was free, so he was like, "Let's do it." And
Right.
then I played again and died. And then it was dinner time, so I went and ate dinner. And then I came back up and I was like, I might have time to finish it real quick. So
Right.
I did it again and got to the point where I died the second time, and I was like, "What the fuck do I do?" And then I survived. So that's
See,
yeah.
now this might not be fair because I've seen someone play this game before, and I realized that as I was playing it.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
seen
yeah.
Jacksepticeye play it before. I didn't finish the video
I got you.
when I watched him play it, but I had realized that as I was playing, I was like, see, I think I've seen this before because he does multiple of the
Yeah,
episodes. I believe you do have to pay for
the other
the
ones. I
second
think
for
they're
the
like
fourth one.
$3 a piece
Three
or
to
something
five,
like
something
that.
like that. I think
Something
episode
along
4
those.
was
I can
five
pull it
ninety
up real
nine.
quick. While John, what is the game though? Like, what are we
So
doing here?
it's pretty interesting, actually. From what I understand, all of these episodes are structured upon true crime stories, like real life
No
stories
shit. Okay, that I didn't
people
know.
that have
That's interesting.
survived a real life incident. So, if anybody's curious, there isn't anything paranormal about what's going on in these games. It's kind of implied. There's kind of a tone, and that may change in the other episodes. There may be more embellishments, and they've taken more liberties with the story, perhaps. But
Mm-hmm. Right, just like
as
if
far
you were
as I
watching
understand,
a crime documentary on TV or
yeah,
something along
hmm
those lines.
and
John, did
yeah,
you
when they
see
do,
this on stream right now? The
no,
dude
I
just
didn't know
creeping out
that.
your fucking window. I only
Okay,
found it the one time but the dude
Oh
was just fucking
no.
creeping
Yeah.
out there like that. That was weird.
The only thing I
But
saw was the picture that the mom sends and the text
yeah,
message.
yeah.
That's
Yep.
crazy. No,
Um,
but yeah, as far as I know, this was like a real story that happens, and you only get text that moves the story along on the screen in the form of a Reddit post. Um,
yeah.
as you do
Well,
things that
he
actually
was saying
progress.
like I didn't want to post this to Reddit and have people just not
Yeah,
believe me or
yeah.
whatever sort of thing.
It kind of reads like a
And then he kind
blog.
of play through. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Hmm.
But anyways, yeah, no. So, and then the game itself, though, let me just make it clear. If you think you might be interested in it, minimize the video and just listen to the audio here because like you will get spoiled hardcore. The episode one, at least, I looked up the other ones. They are $4 and $6 depending on which episode you get, like
Okay,
$3.99 and $5.99. This
gotcha.
one, the free one at least, though, is incredibly short. Playing through all three
Yeah.
endings, with a bit of exploring in between objectives, only took me what this recording is like 25 minutes, and then it took me another like 15 maybe to beat the game. So like
Right. Yeah.
you can complete everything in the game in about an hour.
It's about demo
Like
length.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
like so yeah, the
it's
actual
very
story of
smooth
the game though.
for what it
Yeah,
is.
there are some problems. But
Yeah,
like it seems kind of like a student project is kind of what it feels to me like
it does.
a little bit
Yeah,
better than
they
like a
very
student project,
cleverly use like a filter of kind of like
like a
low grain fuzziness
VHS. Yeah, you get little
to
glitches every
hide
once in a
the
while and
rough
all that
edges,
stuff.
a lot of the rough
Yeah.
edges. Yeah,
Um
I
but
enjoy that.
it's
That's always
obviously a one man game, but it's like one man
Mhm.
team, but it's not bad either, you know? Like
No, and
none of
it's
the
very
models
limited,
are
like you said, but
gross.
mhm.
Everything works even, but it is very simplistic, right?
Yeah, hmm
It's I imagine there were probably, I don't know this for a fact, but I imagine there were probably a lot of free assets used. There's a couple small bugs here and there, but
yeah,
one, it's free, and two, it works.
yeah,
And while I personally didn't find the game scary, there are jump scares in the game. So if you're into that
yeah.
sort of thing, then like
So
yeah, and there is a little bit of a psychological horror aspect to it, a little bit at
that's
least.
what I found spooky personally. Yeah, it's interesting you talk about that because I didn't get any jump scares in my
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Yep.
So what I did is I progressed. You progress through the storyline. I'll try to break and down and summarize the storyline real quick. So you wake up. You are some kind of teenager, presumably.
14.
Um, yeah. Oh, 14. That's right. It does say.
14.
So you
Mm-hmm.
wake up. You're a 14-year-old kid. You wake up and you text your friend and your mom about your
Because you're
day.
home alone.
You go.
Hence the name
You're
of
home alone.
the episode. Yeah.
Yes. Right. Your mom is out somewhere. You're having an eye kept on you by the neighbor that lives across the street, and you're texting your mom and your friend about your evening napping and eating lasagna and watching TV and doing your chemistry
Short
homework.
interjection here. The
Yeah.
eating sound effects are horrid, and I hate
Yeah.
it so much. And also, I'm not gonna point it out, but there was another little Easter egg right there while you're eating the lasagna.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. I might point
it's
it out
also
later,
fun.
but
It's also fun too because this show that you're watching on television
yeah.
in the game is so much more coherent than the nonsense that played on TV when I turned it on.
There's
It was
two.
just,
There's two different
I,
things. It depends
it
if the
was
first one finishes or not. If the first one
oh
finishes,
okay.
it moves on to this one.
Oh okay. It was
If not,
abstract
then
imagery and a
yeah.
whole bunch of loud noises. I got real
Yes. Yeah.
confused,
Yeah.
and I went upstairs having left the TV on, and it wouldn't
I
let
did
me
that
progress
later on. Yeah.
until I came
Yeah.
back down and turned it off, and I was like, so that's what all those sound effects were. Holy
Yeah.
shit! It sounded like cars crashing and beeping and like glass breaking and like a whole bunch of weird shit. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on downstairs? I'm gonna come down here and there's gonna be monsters or something. It was the TV. I just left the TV on. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's what it was. It was the TV. I forgot. I didn't realize the audio wasn't playing. So there you go. The audio's on for you guys now. Um, but
Yeah, that was that was interesting. So anyway, the storyline is as you progress through your evening, you fall back asleep and you get woken up around 1 in the morning to some weird noises, and you try to go back to sleep and you get woken up again with a picture that your mom sends you from your neighbor's house, and it's a
right,
picture of a person standing on your front porch, and
right,
it's not you. You're
and you
not
just
standing
need to
on your front
survive.
porch, and you have to
That's
survive. Yeah.
yeah. You just need to make it to morning, or not make
Mhm.
it to morning, but live through the night.
Yeah.
Um,
So what I kept
what?
doing is just peeking out of my room
Yeah.
every so often, and then going back to my room and hiding under my bed, which is a place that you can
Yeah.
hide.
Later
And
on, later on, you can't do it like now, but
no,
contextually, at some point, it's just like, hey, you can
yes,
hide under
once
the bed if you want.
the quote unquote night starts, so to speak,
Yeah.
as if there
Yeah.
were if this is as if this were a Five Nights at Freddy's experience. Once your
Sure.
night
Sure.
starts, you have to survive till morning. Once you realize that he's inside of the house,
Yeah.
there's an intruder. This is a real life horror. Like I said, this isn't paranormal. This is just something. Someone breaks into your house. You can hear them break
Right.
in. You can hear the window smash. And then you hear a knocking at your front door. I kept hearing the knocking, and your mom texts you and says, "That's the neighbor. Go answer it." And I said, "Fuck that. I I don't. You
Right.
said not
Right.
to open the door for anybody, and then you tell me this is the neighbor. This is
Yeah.
the intruder on your phone telling me to come
Which,
down and open the door for
if
sure."
I
So
can
I
just,
stayed hidden.
the thing is, like, and whenever she says that, it says, she texts you something along the lines of like, "Mom is so sorry," or something like that.
Yeah,
Like, who
like
says it like that? When I
I
saw that
know. I
text,
was
I
like,
was
this
like,
is
okay,
that
no,
tone
this
of
is, yeah, there's
they cloned
something
my
going
mom's
on here.
phone for
Right,
sure.
exactly. That's kind of
Fucking
the thought that I had there too.
yeah,
Um,
I thought
but yeah,
maybe something paranormal was gonna start happening at that point
that's what I
when the
was
mom
thinking
started
too.
texting
Yeah,
weird shit, and you can hide
yeah,
under the bed now, and like
yeah,
stuff like that. So when knocking happened, I came out of the room. I heard glass break. I went right back in the room,
yeah,
and then when I
yeah.
came back out of the room again, the knocking was still going on. I went forward. The parents' bedroom door flies open. There's a light on the wall and a shadow coming out of the room. I turned
Mhm.
around and went back in the room again
Yeah,
and hid under
yeah,
the bed. And when I came out of the room the last time, there were cop lights on outside.
yeah.
So it said
And
that I
that's the
had
end of the
passed
game.
and I survived.
That is the entire game at that
That
point.
is the
So
entire experience. Yeah.
it is very very short. You're
But
gonna
it got
see one of the
there at
ways to
the
die,
end.
like here in
Uh-oh.
just a moment. You're going to see
Uh-oh.
one of the ways to die.
He didn't
I
make
did
it.
record both ways to die, so we'll probably, or as far as I know, there's only two. There could be more that I haven't seen. In fact, there probably is because
Ways
there's an
to
achievement that I
die.
didn't get.
Oh yeah.
But
I got
but
two. I got hydrated and
yeah, and then
something
survive the
else.
night. Yeah, there's a total of
Not
3
tonight, yeah.
achievements for the game. The
Okay.
only one that I didn't get was one for alerting NPCs to your presence by being loud.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Um, I
That's
didn't get
interesting.
that one, but I
So
imagine
there's
it'd
like
probably be
whole
pretty easy
mechanics
to
to
get.
this game that I didn't even experience because I didn't have anyone. Oh, there he is. He got you.
I've I'd been going outside like constantly while I was playing, so I was just like, oh, I'll just look around
Same.
outside while I'm getting my drink of water here. And then
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that I couldn't walk out onto my porch. So I was just
Right.
standing there trying to walk out onto my porch and the game would not let me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened. I got jump scared. A weird thing, whenever the game you either finish it or die, the game just
Mm-hmm.
closes. It doesn't go back to a main menu or anything like that.
Yeah,
It
because
just turns itself off completely. It just
the first
exits the
episode
game.
doesn't even have like a UI for the main menu. It has like a
Not
Windows menu
really.
pop up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a
Like
very basic like here's all the episodes. I didn't even know how to start the game the first time I
not
launched
even
it.
that. Yeah, not even that. I'm talking about like yeah, from Steam when I launched it, it popped up with
Yeah.
like a tiny window that like
That's a
would pop up say if you downloaded Microsoft Word back in the day. Like
that's an old Unity options menu
oh, okay,
is
gotcha.
what that is. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that is
yeah,
the
no.
same
And then
menu
once you
that
get into
popped
the
up
game,
for
there's
Knights of
nothing.
the Old
Like,
Republic
oh, is it for
back
real?
in the day. Yeah,
Hmm.
that is
Yeah.
that's what used to pop up because that my disc for Knights
Oh,
of the Old Republic
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
was like a computer disc that had that and like Star Wars Empire at War on it.
Right, right,
Like I
right.
had both games on the same disc, so it just had a weird little computer window pop up instead of a cool fancy one.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
What did you like about the game, John? Was there anything that really stuck out to you that you enjoyed?
yeah. So the first half of the game, I'll admit, was kind of boring.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think I
because
enjoyed the first half just a little bit more because I saw that dude creeping outside my house, like
that would have
right
made it
after I
for me.
started the game, which
That
was
would have
an
changed my
interesting
experience
thing.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is why I'm in favor, and Christian and I have spoken about this a lot on this podcast. I am in favor of fixed camera angle games for
Yes.
horror
Yeah.
games,
Same.
or at the very
Same.
least, like unskippable little cutscenes, like they did in PT. I think might
Mm.
be an interesting game to talk about
See,
here.
for me, it's more fixed camera
There's little
angles
moments. Yeah,
than anything else because
yeah, because you need to be able
I just really
to
like fixed camera angles.
have an experience that happens to you in a
Did you
horror
guys catch
game
it
if
that
you.
time when you were eating the lasagna?
Yes,
Did
I
you see
did
it?
see that.
Yeah.
I saw that the first time I played. Yeah, he comes
Yeah.
up your stairs.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Somebody does at least, but
Yeah,
I have no idea who.
yeah,
The eating sounds. Oh my god, dude.
yeah.
First off, who eats a whole fucking pan of lasagna? I'm not judging, but come
I was
on. A
impressed.
whole fucking pan of
I was
lasagna?
really pleased that you could. I was worried they were only going to let me eat like a portion, and I was
Chocobo with his
really
dot dot dot.
pleased that I could eat the entire pan. And not only can you do that, but you can drink both liters of water and then
Yeah.
throw the
Yeah.
bottles unceremoniously.
You
I didn't understand for the
you
longest
have to
time that
finish
you
the
had
lasagna.
to
You have to
throw the
finish it.
I didn't understand that you could throw it into the oven. Like I didn't know what the
Mm,
game wanted me to do at first. I was just holding it
yeah.
for a long time, and he said it was cold, and he couldn't eat it because it was cold. And I was like, this is okay. I'll go do my homework, I
Yeah.
guess."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went back upstairs and tried to do my homework, and it said I'm too hungry to do homework. And I was like, "You
Yeah.
just fucking complained about the cold sun.
Who
What do
wants
you want?
cold
There's no
ass lasagna,
microwave."
dude? You got to warm
I
that shit up.
literally thought
Do you
to
see the
myself,
door?
"There's no microwave." Oh, it's a jar.
Mm-hmm. That's
No,
where the
it's a
guy
door.
snuck in to come upstairs. And
Right.
shut up. And yeah, but I don't know like how he got out because I searched the entire house when I saw him because I
Really?
didn't see him the first time. I saw him the second
Wait,
time.
he gets
This
out? I
time
thought
right here.
that's to imply that he
He's
got
not in
in.
there. No, I went up to the mom's room. He's not in the mom's room anywhere.
Oh, the mom doesn't
So,
have like a bathroom? I thought the door against the wall is like a bathroom or a
not
closet
that
that
you
you.
can interact with at least. Like
Right.
there are things up there but you can't interact with it in any way.
Okay.
Um
I got you.
but anyways,
Yeah,
that's the
I
only
mean that's
two Easter eggs I found in the
so
game, but
what I like.
Easter eggs are cool. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I liked literally the last 5 minutes of the game. I liked
Mhm.
where I walked out of the bedroom. When I walked out of the bedroom to go down the stairs to answer the knock, and the parent's door flies open to a light and a shadow, and he
Mhm.
hasn't come out of the room yet, my heart started to pound
Right.
because I've had experiences like that as a child where you're walking around your house late at night and you hear or see something and you fucking did, but you're not going to go check that shit out.
Oh my
You're just
god.
gonna go right back to your room and hide under your bed. And that
Right.
I think is why it connected with me because that's like definitely what I would have done as a kid. And I knew about the true crime aspect before going into it, so I knew this
Yeah,
really
I did
happened.
not know that.
So
I thought it was
that
just like some sort of paranormal thing,
that
honestly,
elevates
especially with
the creep
as
factor
fucking
for me.
weird as the dude looked whenever he hopped out of the fucking door to get me.
Yeah,
Like
and
I
I
was
think
like,
that's
okay, this is some
probably
paranormal bullshit.
yeah, and that's probably more like a perception thing, like a child would see him as extra scary,
Maybe,
or
yeah. Yeah,
the
yeah.
game developers, like you said, this isn't like this was probably a lot of free assets used,
Yeah,
considering
I
that looks like
imagine.
they made this in what Unity you said.
Yeah, yeah, that
So
the pop-up menu for the options in the beginning is 100% the Unity options menu,
right,
old Unity options menu.
right. And so since this is like Unity 3D stuff, that's probably some pretty high quality free assets that were used.
Yeah, I imagine. I
So
don't know that for sure.
but
He
they
could
probably had
have
to
made all of
make
this stuff. I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
fair enough,
Um,
yeah.
but
But they probably had to make the dude for sure. So
possibly
maybe
there
the
are a
dude
lot of free dudes
maybe the dude didn't
online.
look as
Like,
crisp, you know?
mm,
Or maybe they wanted the dude to look extra scary because when it was just a guy, it wasn't like scary to get jump scared by,
right, right.
something like that.
Sure,
But
sure, sure, sure.
this television program's fucking scary, I'll tell you that.
The sounds
And
it
turn that
makes,
shit
man, it's
off.
wild.
Right.
Um, as far as like I go, man, I like the little Easter eggs of like seeing the guy walk up the stairs, of seeing
Yeah,
him creeping outside the house
that's a
early
really
on.
nice touch. And that's another thing
Um,
that would come in handy with a fixed camera angle. If you had a fixed camera angle, you would never miss that guy walking up the stairs.
yeah,
It would always be chilling. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But you could miss it if you weren't paying attention to it. And some people like that, but I always argue that it's
I like that
cooler
it's
to
just a tiny bit on frame. I
Yeah,
tried. It is impossible to actually see him as far as I can tell coming up the stairs. You can just see a tiny
right,
bit in the corner of the frame of him going up the stairs, and that's it. So you kind of got to be looking for it.
right.
Um, which
Yeah,
I liked. But anyways, I like, as far as this style of game goes, it's not necessarily my style of game, but I think it's a pretty decent style for horror, right? Just
yes,
a
I agree.
simple interact with stuff. You don't really have the ability to fight or anything like that. You just get
Right.
to explore and go about doing whatever you need to do, sort of shit.
Yeah.
But I wish
I
there
would
was a little
definitely
bit
love
more to it.
I would love a
Um,
full experience like this. I think it
yeah,
would be
because it's
interesting to have a
so
whole game where
short.
you had like maybe like a bigger house, like if you were in
Yeah,
like a mansion
or just
and
have it be
you
like, it's based
the
off true
whole
crime,
game
so
was
that's limiting, right? But like
sure.
the entire town being able to go
Big
around or
fan of the
something, like maybe
concept.
you escape from here somehow instead of
Sure.
just the cops showing up, and then
I would love it if you were
you
like
being
running
like,
from the same thing all night though, and it was all
yeah,
stealth. I
exactly.
mean,
Like you escape from
like
here,
you
you
have
go to
to.
your neighbor's house, and you
Hmm.
think you're safe and everything. The cops are on their way, but then he breaks through a window there or something, and you have
Right.
to hide, and then you find your neighbor dead, and then,
Hmm.
you
And
escape
then the
from there
cop
to
that
go to your
shows up
friend
and
Miles'
in on
house
it.
that's down the road, and then, the
The
two of you
cop's
have
an
to like team up
accomplice.
and yeah. Oh shit, maybe it was the cop all
Yeah,
along,
the
dude,
cop helps the guy break in, and it turns out the cop's pulling the
I
strings.
have
The guy's
something.
just a
Remind
crony.
me whenever we get to the part where we're just talking about random shit. I need to talk about Friday the 13th. But
The
anyways,
the
that's the
the
movie. The
franchise as a whole.
the yeah, well, the first movie specifically.
Oh, the first movie
But
is
we'll talk about
I
that
just
later.
watched
But
the
yeah.
remake actually last Friday the 13th, or
Oh, I
it
brought the
was the
water
week after.
upstairs with me this time because
What do you
last time when I took the water downstairs, I died. So I
you
brought the
thought that
water upstairs with me.
you thought
Yeah, it
that
worked.
was the factor? That
It
I don't think
worked.
that
I
was
got
the
the
thing,
text
but
messages from my mom that I never got before.
I think opening the door
So
when there was an intruder on your porch is what killed you last time, probably.
I didn't know about the intruder last time. I didn't get the text. You don't get the text about the intruder until after you drink the water.
Oh, okay. See, what I did
Yeah.
was I tried to drink both waters, like when I ate
just,
the lasagna,
just fucking, oh, I
and then I
wake up
threw them.
thirsty, huh? And just
Yes,
fucking
and then I
chug
threw
them
them
down.
both because I expected it to tell
Uh,
me, "Ah, I feel better now," but it didn't.
yeah.
It plays a
I
noise,
drank one downstairs and then brought the other one upstairs, is what I did
right?
my
So
second time through.
I threw both on the kitchen floor, and when I got back
Yeah.
upstairs and it told me that I was too thirsty to go to bed, I almost threw the computer against the wall. Wiped that shit off my desk like a puzzle. But
Oh god, dude.
I went back downstairs and I found the second bottle and it wasn't empty. And I
Yeah.
was like,
I don't
"Oh,
think it's
fine."
actually possible to empty them. It does make a noise after you take so many drinks, but I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah,
technically still water in it.
gotcha.
But
Just
anyways,
forever filling. Okay.
um as
So
far as like the stuff I
I
didn't
would
like about the
play.
game, oh
Yeah,
yeah. I'd play just one
I
more
would play
episode.
just one more level. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
It was
Um
creepy. Oh
yeah,
God.
I just wish there was a bit more to it. Did you not see him outside the window when your mom tells
No.
you to take a look? Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can see
No.
him outside the window there. But the things I didn't like were it was way too short. I wish that it was a
Yes.
bit of a longer experience. Little
Yes.
things kind of bothered me, but weren't terrible, like the terrible eating sound. But I also have a problem with the sounds of eating.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I
Sometimes
remember
it
that.
wasn't
That's a big
clear
thing.
with like what you were meant to be doing to actually progress the game. Like the first time I hid under
Yes.
the bed here, I was like, okay, I'm hiding under the bed. Nothing's happening. I hear the
Hmm.
windows smash, right? And I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna leave my bed when the windows just smashed? No, I'm gonna stay here
Right.
hidden. And
Right.
then I eventually clicked the mouse and the screen just like goes a little black and then comes back. And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's like passing time or something. But it
Hmm.
didn't fucking do anything. I did it like 20 times. It just did not matter. Um, and then very tiny minor annoyance, but some of the textures didn't line up. One of the textures was glitching out a little bit. Just little
Hmm.
things like that. There's nothing really to complain about with a free game that's an hour long, you know? Like it was
Get
good.
that
It was
shit
good.
out of here, Mom. It's
And
not Paula at the door. I'm not
I
going to the
don't
door.
I don't know if I would pay $4 for another episode of it unless unless the next episode I know is significantly longer. Not significantly, I'm not asking for like an 8-hour experience or anything.
Oh no.
But if I'm
But
paying $5, $4, whatever for an episode, I'd like
I'd
it to
say at
be at
least an
least a couple
hour.
hours. I would say a couple. Not necessarily it takes 2 hours to beat the game, but like a couple
Right.
hours worth of stuff to do. Whether it's
Worth of
multiple
like
endings
your
or like a
stuff to
bigger
do
place.
because
Yeah, yeah.
games usually always take me longer to play
Wait,
because I
well,
fiddle around and I try to drink all the water and then
yeah,
throw
yeah.
both of the bottles and then
Well, no, that's what I'm
hide in
saying. Like,
bed too long.
give me more space to explore and things. Here's where I figured out about clicking the mouse to what I thought was past
Oh,
time, but it didn't
gotcha.
fucking do anything.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
there were some small glitches as well. Like if you are holding the water and then you sit down at your desk, all of the UI starts to overlap because I guess he
Oh,
never thought you would lay down, or I'm sorry, you would get in the desk while holding water.
right.
Um,
Who
and then
would?
like if you
I
go
would
to
just drink both
bed,
in the kitchen and then throw them on the
yeah,
floor.
throw them on the ground. If you go to bed while holding a bottle of water,
Hmm.
that bottle of water just disappears. I don't know if it goes back to the fridge or what, but it's
Oh,
not in your hands anymore. So
whoops.
that
It's
happens.
not meant to be in the
Um,
bed. Why would
it's
they do
just
that there?
it's just little things like that. It's nothing too bad. But yeah, eventually I gave up and decided, okay, I'm just gonna go
Oh,
downstairs like my mom told me to. And then I
uh-huh.
see the door open and I'm like, well, fuck, maybe I can just get down the stairs before it gets me. And no, that didn't work. So
It's so interesting to see
that
our
was,
like two completely different experiences because like
yeah.
when that door flew open, I said, "Oh, nope, sorry, didn't see you there.
Yeah.
Let me go back." Like, you
Oh
know what I mean,
god.
like that. But you were just like, "Oh shit, he's here! Run, 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 run!"
That's what
It's
I'm
fight or
used to
flight.
with horror games, you know what I mean?
Right,
Whenever something happens, you don't stop.
right,
You run away from it unless you have the
right. Yeah,
ability to fight. But obviously
right,
in
right,
this
right.
game, you don't have the ability to fight. So yeah, I'm gonna run downstairs to Paula and Paula's gonna fucking eat this guy with a brick or something. I don't know.
Get him. I mean, to yeet is to throw. She's gonna throw him like with a brick. Like she's gonna
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
offer
Yeah.
a brick. Like, oh, I see what you mean. She's gonna get down on one knee, offer a brick as a platform for his foot, and he's
Exactly.
gonna put his foot
Exactly.
on it, and then she's gonna
Yeah.
launch him up over her head backwards.
Now you're
Yeet
fucking getting it, my
into
guy.
the
Yeet
street.
that
Okay,
guy.
with a
Fucking
brick.
yeet him with a brick.
With a brick. I see what you mean. Yeah, you need that platform for him to jump off of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I would play just one more episode, but like I second your opinion. If the next episode is a little bit more complex and longer, and maybe a little bit more spooky throughout, I suppose that's kind of my fault. I missed a few of the spooky things that you could find along the way, and I
Right.
didn't die. So I suppose if I died, I would have been a little bit more spooked. But that's how I felt. I felt like it was a good experience and it was quality, but it was just a little underwhelming,
Yeah.
um, which I
There's
wasn't
nothing to legitimately
complaining about
complain
because it
about.
was free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
That's
precisely.
like there are free games that I feel
Mhm.
wasted my time. Like you
Yeah,
cost
we've
me an
played a
hour
few.
of my life and that was worth more than this game, right?
I've costed you
But
a
not
dollar of your life before
oh,
that
shit, dude.
you've asked for a refund on. What was that
Yes,
game
that's
that
true.
you asked for a refund?
Krampus Quest or something like
Krampus
that.
Quest.
Oh
Yeah,
my
the
god.
Castlevania Light Christmas game.
Um,
You
and
asked
then
for a refund.
what was I saying? Oh, anyways, but this game, no, like it's free, and it didn't. I didn't feel like I wasted an hour of my life playing it. It
Right.
was a decent time. So no
Yes,
complaints.
I
No
agree.
complaints.
Good.
So yeah, that was the JOML segment, I guess.
That was the
John, do you want
classic,
to talk about your game first, or you want me to talk about what I played recently?
the the Jomo Classic.
John,
I suppose we can talk about my game first.
your game first.